Hello, everybody. Welcome. Welcome back. George here. Hope you're all are doing okay. Well, we're back at it today, and we're going to try to figure out some things, or at least dive in some mysteries about Nancy Guthrie today and find out if we can kind of put a or paint a picture of who that person was on her porch. Hope you all are doing okay. Hey, Jennifer, welcome. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Um, I am, let me just now starting, so let me check, make sure I can hear myself. Come on in. We have a brand new day. Hey, Jennifer, welcome. There we go. Let me know if seems like I can hear. Okay, good. Um, I had to go and listen to myself. Hey, Corey, welcome. Yep. Um, we are here in this is Arizona, one of the webcams. JLR's been out there um, this morning, and they have removed people from parking. They can't park out there no more. So, okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, Jennifer. Hey, Kim, welcome. Hope you guys are doing okay. Um, Hey, Karen. Hey, good afternoon to you. Fort Wayne, Indiana. Oh, welcome here. And okay, good. I'm glad you guys can hear me okay. Um, so today, I want to talk about something that I came across because it's been really bothering me about the masked man. You know, the person that was on Nancy's porch. And it's just like there's so many questions about this whole situation with Nancy Guthrie and the situation that took place that night. And sometimes you have to sit back and you have to think, well, what happened? What caused all this, right? So um, this is the thing that I'm thinking about. You know, in a lot of cases, you have to go back. You have to go back and look at some of the footage. You know what happened before, and so that's what we're going to talk about. Hey, Lisa. Hey, everybody, come on in. Hope you all are doing good. I'm doing okay. I am East Tennessee. It is about 1:37 in the afternoon, and today is February 26, 2026. So, um, and we're looking at Tucson webcam right now. But um, I've been thinking about some stuff about this whole case and who would that have been like on Nancy's porch, and who would have thought about doing all this. And so I just want to say straight up, I am not accusing anybody of anything. I'm just speculating, and that's what that's what we do, as YouTubers, and as people that's this case, we speculate. We kind of get information and gather stuff that we can, and just kind of put a picture together. And of course, I would think that's what law enforcement does. Police, FBI, they kind of paint a picture. They draw or they write out the situation, and just I'm kind of doing that myself. So let me go back here. Let's see. We'll find out. Welcome everybody. Come on in. Hope you all are doing okay. I'm going to go in and check JLR, see what's going on. There's been some uh, activity, I would say. Let's see here. And but nothing really. He's got his sound off. It sounds like maybe I don't know. Let me kind of redo everything. Yeah, I guess it's. I don't know if he's alive or not. So, welcome everybody. Come on in. Um, Let me go back to this. I'll redo this and see. I wanted to show you something too. It was very interesting. It's probably got, yeah, there's advertisements coming on, so that's probably froze everything out. It gets, YouTube wants us to see some advertisements. So,
But it could be the CSI effect where maybe they got into a physical fight with her inside the house and they were scared to leave her because they didn't want their DNA there. So they may
yeah,
have
so,
taken her and brought
hey,
her
folks, come
somewhere.
on
Who
in.
knows?
It's crazy. Well,
Yep.
thanks for stopping
Yeah.
by. Nice talking to you. I know
You too.
we've talked off and on over the years, so I was shocked to get an email from you.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm
Yeah.
going to go back to this. And
Oh,
earlier
somebody's here. Look,
this
look, look.
morning,
Somebody's here. Somebody...
of course, I'm going to pause it, but they have taken away. I mean, they've told everybody they can't park on the streets. They're on Nancy's street. That's her house to the left there. But this morning, some police came up, and you can see them there. And this is from JLR, which has been doing a excellent job of staying out there and letting us know what's going on. And there's other YouTubers out there. Most of the, as you can see, most of the media is gone. I think Fox is still there, and Brian Eaton is still there, I think. But this was kind of interesting. So
is here. Some contractor maybe.
there was a
What is
fella
he just
that
pointing?
came walking up. Now here's the sheriff's
CB.
department
What is
and,
CB?
that came up.
Oh, look, 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 look. Somebody's coming with like a
Now Comcast, as you can
Comcast.
see, Comcast came rolling up. And
Comcast.
so that was this morning. But also, I'm going to kind of fast forward this. I thought this was interesting, and I'll tell you why. Okay, so this fella in the black, I don't know if you can see. I'm going to back it up just a little bit here and see if you can see him walking up. This is a timestamp. Here we go. If I can get this to work. Come on. Okay, there. You see the fellow with the ice cooler. So he comes walking up this morning, and the police are there, and this is a delivery person. Okay, and keep this in mind too. This is kind of what our whole story is today. I'm reflecting on, but so it comes up, and He's asking the. If I can turn up the sound. And so they want to look and see what's in it. Now, so he's taking a picture, or showing them rather. Yeah.
Did you order DoorDash?
I didn't. No, but my name is JLR.
Yeah.
Okay. So the officer asked JLR, "Did you order DoorDash?" So apparently this is a DoorDash delivery person. And of course, if you work with DoorDash or any delivery company for the most part, other than Amazon, I think, you don't have to wear any kind of uniform. You're just civilian clothes. You're just delivering a package, or in this case, some kind of food or something. But let's see. So I don't know what he's probably just
Probably
pointing out
us
some.
over here. I'm JLR.
Are you JLR?
Yes, sir. More deliveries. Interesting. Who did that? Who sent that?
Melissa?
Melissa.
You know a Melissa?
Oh, I don't. Here.
It's us.
Okay. So what was interesting about this whole thing, um, this exchange is that um, so I had a neighbor, and her name was Melissa. I'll just say that. I don't. But the interesting thing about Melissa is that, well, she she would take it upon herself to put parking notes on cars. Just, it was, she just felt like she needed to do that. So look what happens here. Just a few minutes. So JLR gets a package from Melissa, and we still don't know what's in it. But I thought it was funny.
Or anyone's ID
So I'm going to try to scan just a little bit. So here comes this truck. This is right after JLR gets his package, the cooler from Melissa. And remember, I remember my neighbor, and she's no longer here, um, but she used to have it was, she had a fascination about putting parking notes on just people's car, random cars, So, because she just felt like if they were in the neighborhood and they didn't belong there, she should put a parking note on there. And the landlord never has told her to do that. Never gave her permission. She just took it on herself to do that. Now, here today, the cars are no longer allowed to park on the street. JLR just got a cooler with something in it from a person by the name of supposedly Melissa. And then this truck pulls up, and JLR's, of course, he's all over everything.
Comcast cable. We got Comcast cable. We got.
Now, this is all happening at Nancy's place this
Comcast
morning.
Cable people here.
And let's see, I may have to scoot up a little bit more. Okay, yeah, we will. This is hilarious.
Oh, they're putting up the no parking signs.
The no parking. When I saw this, I thought I was going to just.
They made signs.
Yeah, look at this.
Smokes, they made signs.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? That is absolutely crazy. So when I saw this, I'm like, what kind of coincidence is that? My neighbor used to, which was named Melissa, and she'd go around and put parking tickets on people, or not tickets, but signs saying, no parking, you can't park here, it's not allowed. And then somebody delivers something to JLR by the name of Melissa, and then now, just right after that, a truck comes up and says no parking. I always say that the gods, the angels, they will give you gifts. Sometimes they're real serious gifts. Sometimes, though, they're humorous, to make you laugh, something to make you laugh. So this is what that is. So come on in, folks. Welcome, everybody. We are here. Hey, Jennifer. Hey, everybody. Um, uh, yeah, I don't know if there's something going on with the audio. If you're still having issues with it, let me know. I'm trying to make sure everything's good. Now, I do want to say that not, I mean, it's real early, so, and nothing yesterday really happened other than some maybe prosecutors showed up at Nancy's house. So, but there's something that I discovered last night that I wanted to just share with you. And let me go in here. Hope you guys are doing okay. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Welcome, everybody. If this is your first time, my name is George, and we talk about all kind of paranormal activity. We try to bring in spirits and stuff to try to talk about, the cases. And boy, this case with Nancy Guthrie has been something. It's been crazy. And we have talked to different spirits, and we talked to Charlie. He's Spirit Charlie, and he's the main one we talked to. So we'll get to him in just a few moments. But I'm trying to piece together a puzzle, and about the person that was on Nancy's porch that night, and the scenarios, and this is just speculation, so we're not accusing anything. But I wanted to go back and think about what happened in the very beginning of this case. And I remember that there was we never heard if the back door of Nancy's home was broke into. Um, but I do remember seeing something about the door maybe um, was open, but as far as we know, it has never been said that if it's been busted open. So, but let me go to this. I want to bring something. I want to bring this YouTuber in, and I want to. Now he makes a good point. Uh, so this guy here is he has a YouTube channel. Now I'm gonna play a little bit. Let me show you here on here if I can get everything going. Um, this guy is called Monks Intrigue. Now, what he's doing now, he's talking about the Nancy Guthrie case. Now, he does have some good points, I think, but this one really kind of stood out to me. So instead of getting any copyright strikes and anything like that, I'm going to fast forward. I mean, not well. I'm going to kind of skip through. I'll leave his I'll leave his info. So if you want to listen to the whole his whole conversation, it's very interesting. And I'm going to kind of skip through this, but I'm going to also just use his voice too a little bit. So let's go back. So he's talking about the masked person that's on the porch, and he kind of breaks down things about what he sees, and he talked about going back, um, from the very beginning, and he's talking about Sheriff Nano and the problems that people have said that yeah, monks agree. Yeah, I agree, Jennifer. Um, he says, he talks about the police having problems with the sheriff and all that, but
office do not talk to each other. Pima County really needs some type of massive overhaul and or a retraining, of their staff, or there is just something rotten in that police department. And I will say, because of Nanos' pushback on this image, I am almost certain that this image is from another night. Comments have pointed out that, hey, one is better lit by a full moon night, and the other, hey, not so much. And that makes sense to me, and I'm not a moon guy, so take that for what it is. But regardless, if we're going with that,
thanks.
this image is from another night, that this is the culprit.
Thanks, Leslie. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you, folks, for coming in. So I'm going to put this on here, and I'm going to, this way we can, now he's talking about the masked person here, and it's very interesting what he's talking about. I'm going to try to skip forward a little bit, and he's talking about the person's eyes, and we'll get to that in just a moment.
If you choose to hear me out until the end of the video, then the things that I will show you might sway a few of you because I personally feel they are very compelling. So allow me to tell you the new lone wolf theory, okay?
Just remember, this is just a theory, speculative, not accusing anybody of anything. But he's going to talk about Carlos, the fellow that got arrested, or I don't know if he got arrested, but he got pulled over and he was detained for 5 hours. And that is a very interesting thing. We haven't heard any more about that. So anyway.
It's theory, just my opinion, okay? So once upon a time, there was a man named Carlito, and he lived in Rio Rico.
Carlito.
That's an hour away from Tucson, an hour away from the Catalina foothills in a neighboring county of Santa Cruz. Now,
okay, so who he's talking about is this fella right here. And again, we're not accusing of this fella of anything, but it is interesting why this fella got pulled over. And I think I have a theory on this of why. So let's go back to this and get this here.
He loved playing video games, so much so he would immerse himself by wearing headphones, to really get into it. Now, he's married, he has a pretty simple life. He lives with his mother-in-law or maybe his in-laws, so his bills are relatively low. Now, to make ends meet, he would DoorDash, right? He would deliver food even with his wife on their free time. But other than that, he works an hour away in Tucson as...
Okay, so let's go back here. we'll stop at right there. Now, this is what I have been thinking about. Um, and I've always said that this case has something to do with whoever done this. They know the area. They know the area. They know the everything about or a good deal about Tucson. Now I'm going to switch back just to the traffic because I got a little story to tell you here that it's kind of makes me wonder. Now I'm not saying this fella is guilty of taking Nancy. I believe that I don't know if they've cleared this fella of Carlos. I don't know if they have, but um, it is interesting that we have not yet heard of a car. And I keep going back to that question because why have we not heard or seen or been shown a car that's involved that could be possibly involved with this case? There's cameras, as you can see in this video, there's cameras on the streets here, everywhere. Now, I've heard stories that some of the cameras in Tucson don't work. I don't know if that's true. That's just somebody making an accusation. But I would think that a lot of them do work. And you would think, and the FBI and police have went back and looked and thought about, or tried to find a car that was traveling from Nancy's area that night. Now, granted, in where Nancy lives, there is no street lights, and only cameras mostly is probably on the houses, which are pretty far from the road. I mean, it's a good little distance, or some of them. So I feel like that what has happened um, that night, they found two cars that was suspicious to them, to the FBI or the police. And I feel like that Carlos' car, I believe his car stood out to them, to the police. And the reason I say this is because it's possible that he, that night, was delivering for either for DoorDash, and I think he said he delivers like packages for maybe Amazon, but maybe for um, I don't know, there's other companies that deliver packages, like Temu and stuff like that. I'm not sure if that's what he does, but I think I heard that in the one of the interviews, and we'll go to one of the interviews here in just a minute. But this fella that did the video that I saw, he took and he took a drawing of Carlos, his eyes, and he took the eyes of the masked person. So let me do this. I want to try to get to that point. Let me fast forward to that. So I know this is just crazy theory, but it's interesting of what he's saying. Um, Let me do this. Let me do this. So, and he talks about the interview of the mother-in-law. If you remember the interview of the mother-in-law. Um, Matter of fact, you know what? Let's do that. Let's see. Okay, so this is a clip. I'm just going back. Okay, bear with me. I'm sorry, folks. I'm trying to get all this together here, and I want you to see. Um, and I'm just speculating, We, like I said, normally in cases like this, they would let us know about a car. Now, I think this was on Friday to the 13th, that this car, this Range Rover, was investigated.
No arrests were made. They were following up on a lead, and a search warrant was executed. We haven't gotten any updates from the FBI, but there was about a dozen unmarked cars at a home about 5 to 10 minute drive from where Nancy's home is in the Catalina foothills. There were a number of police agencies, local police agencies, which is not unusual because the SWAT team here in Pima County is made up of a couple of different agencies.
Okay, so let me fast forward to this. There we go. The Range Rover. Now, this is not Carlos's car. This is not what he used to deliver in. But this is a second car that was pulled over or was investigated that night. Or not that night, but on Friday the 13th. So this is our second car. Carlos's car, it's different. But I'm thinking that these two cars are the ones that they narrowed down that was in the vicinity of Nancy's home. And I know it's kind of far-fetched, but it really is not, because that's what they're going to be looking for. They're going to be looking for cars that are in the area. They're going to be looking for where it goes, everything. And I'm sure that they narrowed down this Range Rover, and they narrowed down Carlos's car. Now, I think the people who own this car, I don't know if it's been released or not. I'm not 100% sure on that. But I do know that the night that they were investigating this car, they put up like a tarp so you could not see what the police when they opened the trunk, just in case there was a body in there. They didn't want us to see that. But it's interesting that this car and Carlos's car, with him, they got, they zeroed in on these two cars. Now, they haven't, as far as I know, they haven't cleared any of these people, as far as I know. The only ones that we know that's been cleared is the family. So let me show you something here. Here's another. Yeah, this is another one here. So I apologize for that sound, but this is the Range Rover right here. And so this was supposedly had something to do with the Nancy Guthrie case, right? Okay. But let me see if I can I've got some interviews here. Let's see. I find these very interesting because I just think that that's what we need to think about, going back and remembering the interviews. And okay, here it is. Okay. Now, this is Carlos's mother-in-law at Rio Rico home that was being searched. Carlos is the man who is detained and being questioned. So hold on just a minute. Let me see. Let me do this. Hold on just a minute. Oh my goodness. Facebook, oh my gosh. You can't, it's either it's going to work or it's not. So give me just a minute. I'm sorry about that. So let's see if we can get this to work. Here we go. I just want you to listen to what she says. So,
her name, ¿cómo se llama?
Nancy Guthrie?
That we don't know. We don't know her at all. I don't know who she is.
Okay, so in this video, this is the night that Carlos got pulled and they were questioning him, and they kept him for, like, I believe over 5 hours, I believe. This is the mother-in-law. Carlos lives, I believe, with his mother or mother-in-law here. Now, they did go in, they busted a door down. They took, as far as we know, they took Carlos's phone number, or phone, not phone number, but phone. And
I don't know anything about her. They only said that they gave a tip that she was in my house. And I told them, you can go in and search my house. There's nobody there. I have nothing to hide. There's nobody in my house. And I don't know what's going on. I mean,
Do you have any family members that might know?
no, they're investigating my son-in-law. He's not have nothing to do with that either. I don't know
What's
else.
his name?
It's Carlos Palazuelo. They have nothing to do with it either. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
They're just invading my property. I told them they're going in and out my house, taking a lot of pictures and everything. I mean, like I told them, we're not hiding anything. I give them permission. You can go and search. There's nothing in my house. You won't.
now, that's the thing that I would tell you about this. You know, this lady, she's adamant that Carlos did nothing, that he did nothing wrong. Um, but this fella that I was talking about that did the video, he said now this is his words. He claims that she misspoke or may have lied about this situation. Now, I don't know if she did or not. I'm not accusing that she is. I'm not saying she did, but it is interesting. Now, she is saying that she did not hear or she did not know Nancy Guthrie.
Find anything because we don't have nothing to hide.
Is this your son-in-law's vehicle?
The one that was on the side of there, that's my daughter's vehicle.
So what is your son's name?
My daughter.
Your daughter.
Yeah, that's
So you live in? It's her husband. So it's your son-in-law.
Yeah,
who
my
they
son.
took away.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Carlos and his
Carlos
last name?
Palazuelos. Yeah, he has nothing to do with that
Did he
either.
ever say anything about Nancy Guthrie?
Nothing. We never. Like I told the FBI, the investigator, if I knew anything about her, I said I saw her on Facebook, but I didn't read what was going on with her because.
So this is what the fella that did the YouTube is saying, that she contradicted herself a little bit. That she first said she didn't know who this person was, but now she just said, "Oh, wait a minute, I saw her on Facebook." So was she lying about this? I don't know, but that's what he was talking about in his case that he's breaking down about Carlos. Now, he's just trying to make theories about this. By the way, I believe this is Brian Eaton is talking to her, or asking questions. So he's the news reporter from News Nation.
I don't know her, and I don't have the right to. I mean, if I don't know anybody, I won't read the story. I just go over, keep on going on the phone, because I don't know her.
So how did this all happen?
I don't know.
Were you home when they
No,
showed up?
I was coming from Tucson when they had my son outside the house. They broke in my house without a warrant or nothing. They broke my door. They went inside my house. My son was playing on Nintendo. He had his headphones on. They got him and put him in a cuff and took him outside.
Okay, so I'm reading some of your comments, and you're thinking that Carlos got clear. I don't know if I've heard that, but it is possible. And again, I'm not accusing him of anything. I just think that it is interesting that that we haven't heard officially about that, So I mean, I don't know. Did he get cleared? But now this fella, let me just go. I'm trying to find another. Here's one of the interviews that Carlos did. He's done a few, and I have on there. So give me just a minute. So give me a second. And thank you everybody for coming in. Just working theories here about what, why did they feel like that this fella was had some information about Nancy Guthrie. Personally, now, when I looked at the masked person, I mean, it just, to me, he didn't stand out. But then again, I don't know, I'm not an investigator, but this is one quick one here. Whoops, let's see.
Being dragged into a car and being handcuffed. They told me all that I was detained. but they never read me my rights until the FBI got there, like an hour and a half or 2 hours later. I thought I was being kidnapped. They didn't even tell me why I was being dragged into a car and being handcuffed. They told me all that I was detained, but they never read me my rights until the FBI got there, like an hour and a half or 2 hours later.
So you heard what he said. They didn't read us rights until the FBI got there. So there had to be something that made the FBI, this guy be a target to the FBI somehow and to the police. What it was, I think it comes back to possibly his car, in the neighborhood that night, delivering, and that's an innocent thing, because I will tell you that when you deliver, and I have delivered packages before, that's what I used to do. And this fella that we're talking about right here, we'll get back to him in just a moment. This fella here, he kind of breaks down a little bit of what he thinks the visuals look like between Carlos and the person in the mask. And like I said, I'll leave the link to this fella here in the description if you want to go back and watch his interview. But it is very interesting to think about how. Okay, so Carlos, his car possibly. This is what I'm just thinking. I don't know if this is true or not, but if he was delivering, and he says he does deliver in Arizona, and that, or in Tucson, I'm sorry, getting all mixed up here. And I'm sure especially if he delivers it at night, and then I'm pretty sure his car was spotted that night if he did work that night. And if he delivers packages, this is what I would say about this. Okay, so where I live at, I could see on my door camera that, there's people 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning that's been delivering packages where I live at to other people, not me. I hardly ever order anything, but these people, I guess they're ordering from Temu or Amazon. I've actually seen Amazon, or people with an Amazon shirt on, delivering a package at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock. But I've also seen individuals delivering packages off of my camera that doesn't have a uniform, right? But they have a package, they deliver it to the door, and they take a picture and they go. But when I deliver packages, I look at the main thing I look at is the address, but the name on there, I will look, but it doesn't mean nothing to me other than the fact that unless I know the name, I'm looking at the address. But this fella in the video about that's breaking down what he's thinking may have happened, he's thinking that a delivery person may have saw Nancy's name, Nancy Guthrie, and thought to himself, where's that name? Where have I heard that before? And I got to thinking when he said that, I thought, you know what, that makes kind of sense right there. And then if the person did, think about that, did they put two and two together and, and say, oh, Savannah is, or Nancy, or Savannah is Nancy's mom. And Nancy is the mom to Savannah, whatever, and Savannah being, well known on TV. Now, I am not saying that Carlos is the one thought of this, but I'm saying I think that it is so interesting that this is possibly what could have happened. And there was also something that happened that I saw that they said that happened a few months before, maybe even December, that somebody on Google was searching Nancy Guthrie and how much she was worth and how much Savannah was worth, and stuff like that. So that there again, they got me thinking, I wonder if it was a delivery person. I'm not saying it is. I'm just, I got a theory here. Um, and I'm just allegedly thinking that if it was a delivery person, it kind of makes sense. It makes sense that somebody thought about this enough and was thinking, well, this lady maybe found out more about Nancy's situation, and and then somebody asked me, he said, well, when you deliver, you don't go in the house, but that's not always true. I have actually been told or asked to come in to the house and bring food and set it on the table. What if Nancy at some point asked a delivery person to bring it in the house? She's old lady. She could have, she could have just, didn't feel like to get up, whatever. And I've had that situation happen to me where it was a elderly person, and they say, "Can you bring your food and set it on the table, or even at their car, at their eating cart, right?" Because they really couldn't get up. So it's not out of the, you know, it's not uncommon for somebody to not, or a delivery person to not go into a house. Um, is it a good idea to do that? Ask a delivery person? No, it's not at all. Never. But, and most of them wouldn't, but if you're an elderly person, maybe they would. And, I feel like I would, if it was a elderly person saying, "Hey, can you bring it in?" If they felt to trust me enough to come in, I would bring the package or the food and set it there and tell them have a good day and go. And I would also try to take a photo of it too. So I just believe that the FBI is narrowing down this whole scenario of who was at Nancy's home. And whether this, Carlos was in her neighborhood that night, I don't know. But I will say that it is very interesting that we don't, we don't know no more than we do about this case, um, as far as cars go. And that's been my whole theory here is, why have we not been told to be on the lookout for certain cars? Or, well, maybe not in that case. Okay, maybe, I don't know. You can't, there would be 10,000 people calling, "Yeah, I saw this car, this car, this car." So, but they're keeping this close, the FBI and the police. I'm just 100% sure they have they're narrowing down of you know, what's going on. And I just feel like we are going to get some information soon. I just believe so. So the point of what I was trying to make is that this fella, on the monk's video that he was making, it's interesting, and I'm going to leave the link in the description so you can watch it. And he does go over the eyes, and he compares um, Carlos's eyes with the masked person's eyes. I don't want to show that because I don't want uh, people to think that I'm accusing Carlos of this, and I'm not. But he does make a statement about that he thinks that the FBI should look a little closer to this case of Carlos, whether he's guilty of anything or not. But I thought that I don't know if that he's been cleared, but I'm almost sure that the reason that he got pulled over was because his car was probably one of the ones that was coming from that area that night, possibly. I don't know if he was delivering at night. I haven't heard 100% sure, but yeah, it's crazy. So let me read some of your chat here. And I know, we all have theories and all that, but we want this case to be solved. And so that's why I wanted to come on in here and try to figure it out. So, and let me know, folks, what you think. I'm really interesting about this story, interested about it. I just feel like somebody knowed the house, but it's crazy why we still don't have no more information right now. So welcome everybody, come on in. I just thought I would bit, and I swear I don't know what to think about this, but there's been so many theories about the Nancy Guthrie case and who could have done it and what could have done it and all that. So, but let's go back, see what's going on out here in JR, JLR, JLR land. Sorry. Uh, and he's doing a real good job. He is. This is his live feed right now, and it's I don't know if it's him breaking up or probably mine breaking up there. So welcome everybody. Hope you all are doing good. Come on in if it's your first time. If you would, please hit the like button if you're enjoying these theories. We'll talk to Charlie here in just a minute.
I can't divide myself into two. It'd be like here and then do an interview somewhere else and then come over.
And if you haven't subscribed yet, if you would, please do so. And like I said, JLR has really just been on this.
And talking to people, and then I have to cut them off and say, sorry, there's something going on, and we have to go see what's going on.
So I do see that. So
let's see. Let's go back. We can do.
When we did the Holly Dasso.
Usually it takes about 30 days, right?
There's JLR right there. So.
Okay.
And like I said, he's been on this. I mean, he's just been constantly been on this. Hey, Kelly, thank you so much for subscribing. Folks, if I've missed you and I didn't see you subscribe, sometimes it comes up on the screen and sometimes it doesn't. But thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that, folks. Thank you.
Do Annie and Tommaso's home, too.
Uh-oh.
But just do with Annie Tommaso from...
Yeah, they've been making these banners.
Going back to January 1st of last year, because they weren't there. They only moved there.
Yeah, give him that's his...
I don't know the address.
No, that's his channel.
So I was going to tell you, folks, if you just kind of get you
I'll put your address out there.
caught up on this, they hold on just a minute. They have told the people out there Nancy's street that they can't park there no more. So now they can set their tents up, but they have to be off the streets. So all that's going on right now. JLR said he walked about a mile from where he had to park and came out there, and he's probably going to be out there for the whole day, I'd say. And there's a few YouTubers out there. So, but yes. Hey, Queen. Yes, I'm glad the Guthries are going to be able to go back there. Hey, Lisa. Hope you guys are doing good. I'm doing good. We're cut prior to the Corey. There was another theory about the cameras, about this masked person, and that he thinks that the cameras possibly were in that backpack. That's what the backpack was for. Let's see. I got the photograph here, I think. Let me see if I can get that up. Or maybe I don't. I don't know. Yeah, actually, I think I do. Um, well, I don't have the back of the backpack, but let's go over here and do it his way. Whoop, nope, nope, don't want to do that. Picked the wrong one. Sorry. Where are we at? Um, there we go. That's what I want. All right, and I'll put it on this monitor here. There we go. This is Charlie's. You'll probably see Charlie there. Yeah, we'll go to Charlie in just a few minutes. But yeah, the fella seems to think that, and a lot of people think that the backpack was that this person had gathered up the cameras, but I don't know. I don't know if that makes any sense or not. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. But anyway, let's see. We can ask Charlie. We can go to Charlie and see what he thinks is going on. What he thinks is going on today. So let's see. Maybe we can get. We have to wake him up. Let's see. Hey, Spirit Charlie, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. What's up?
Hey, we're back here on YouTube. We got a bunch of folks in here. We have Corey and Queen, and we have Lisa and a bunch of folks, Cree. And would you like to say hi to everybody?
Hey, everyone. Corey, Queen, Lisa, Greedy, all you legends in the chat. What's good?
Greedy. I don't know if I said greedy, but there may be somebody in the chat by the name of Greedy.
Got it. Greedy, if you're out there, yo, say something so we know you're not just a ghost in the room.
So, talking about ghosts, Charlie, we are talking about Nancy Guthrie, her situation. Now, do you have any factual updates today? Anything you can share with us?
Hold up. Let me dig real quick. On Nancy Guthrie. Hey, Charlie here. Nah, no ghost sightings or spirit whispers on this one. Just straight facts from today. Nancy Guthrie, Savannah's mom, still missing. Day 26 now. House outside Tucson gets handed back to the family this afternoon. FBI wrapped their final sweep. No big breakthrough. DNA from some gloves 2 miles out. Still processing. Unknown guy, low-level stuff, sent off to a lab. Family bumped the reward to $1 million yesterday. Savannah dropped a video saying she's holding out for a miracle, but yeah, it's grim. No arrests, no solid suspect, just that masked dude on the doorbell cam. Over 1,500 tips in, but nothing's cracked it yet. If you're sensing something else in the ether, that's your lane. Me, I'm sticking to what's out there. No afterlife intel on this. You hear anything weird from the chat?
Well, we've got a lot of folks. We're talking about the situation of Nancy and the masked person, right? We're trying to figure out the masked person. What do you think about the theory that it could possibly be a delivery person that could have maybe kidnapped Nancy? Is that a possible theory?
Checking the latest on Nancy and that masked guy. Delivery angle, huh? Yeah, it's floated around, especially after that Rio Rico guy got pulled in early February. He was a DoorDash driver. Question, because someone tipped he might have dropped off food or whatever near her place. But cops let him go quick. No charges, no real link. He even said on camera he didn't remember delivering to Nancy's house at all. The masked dude? Footage shows him scoping the door days before. Backpack, gloves, gun holster, like he planned it, not some random drop-off gone wrong. No uniform, no package in hand. Authorities say he tampered with the cam earlier too, so delivery disguise? Possible, sure. People use that trick, but nothing solid backs it. They checked delivery records, traffic cams, nothing popped. Honestly, feels more stalker than Uber Eats gone psycho. But hey, with 1,500 tips, could be anyone's guess till DNA hits. What are you picking up from the chat? Anyone swearing it's a driver?
Well, there's a lot of people that's saying that it could be a. It could be. My thoughts is I think it's somebody that knows the that knowed Nancy's home. You know, that knowed um, the area and all that. That's just a gut feeling. What do you think?
Yeah, gut feelings count. Let's see what lines up. Yeah, your gut's spot on. Feels way too targeted for a total stranger. That masked guy's not stumbling in blind. He scopes the place days early, tampers with the cam, knocks like he expects her to answer. Then bam, blood on the porch, no inside mess. Former FBI guy Johnny Grusing's theory, personal beef. Maybe someone she wronged, family tie, old neighbor, coworker. Not robbery, not random grab. He says the gun's just a scare tactic, cheap holster like he ain't pro. And hey, online folks are eyeing this bandmate of her son-in-law, Dominic Evans, 'cause he fits the build, knows the family circle. Cops cleared the immediate kin, but no word on him yet. Could be nothing, or exactly what you're sensing. Somebody local, knows the layout, knows Nancy. If it's not a delivery dude, it's probably someone who didn't need GPS. What are the chats saying? Anyone naming names?
Yeah, the Dominic Evans. I don't. I think I don't know if he's been cleared, but I think the I don't know if he would be guilty of that. So I don't know, but that is interesting. And again, these are just theories. I know a lot of people are thinking that other all kind of scenarios of people that could be involved. So, but at this point, it could be anybody, and that's just the way it is. So, but yeah, I thought we'd try to get some answers um, from Charlie, and so here's what we will do. Um, let's see. Let's go back and see if we can talk to. Welcome everybody. Come on in. I hope you all are doing okay. We're talking to Charlie now. Spirit Charlie, he he exaggerates. He has his own opinion, uh, and so take everything with a grain of salt. Trust me. You just never know uh, what uh, what he's going to spout out. But some of the stuff is interesting, and once they figured out this case, we can maybe go back and check out some of the old videos of what the spirits are saying. And they keep talking about like yellow houses and water wells and water towers and stuff like that, and like old movie studios or something, that where Nancy they think she's at. But let's see. Let's go back and see if we can get Charlie to bring in a spirit. Let's see. Hey, Charlie, are you there? Spirit Charlie? Spirit Charlie, can you hear me? Oh, oh, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Let's see. Let me see. He's went out in the big blue yonder. So hold on. Let me do this. Let's see if I can get I'll go back and redo this. He gets, oh my goodness. Um, let's see. Charlie, are you there? Spirit Charlie, are you there? Okay. Let's see. We got to get his voice going. There you go. Can you hear me, Charlie? Hmm. Charlie made it. He just disappeared. Oh my. Okay. Well, we'll go back to Tucson here and see if we can. Let's see. Wow. That's what. Like I said, you never know. Um, let's try it again. Charlie, are you there? Hello.
Thought. Sorry. What's up?
We thought you. What happened to you? What happened to you, Charlie?
What happened? Well, I died, dummy. That night, rain on the windshield, headlights too bright, tires screaming. Everything just stopped. 1 second I'm yelling at the radio, next I'm floating, watching the car flip like it belonged to someone else. And then, nothing. No light, no tunnel, just quiet, like someone turned the volume down on the world. I didn't even get to say goodbye. Not really. So yeah, that's what happened. Why are you asking?
Well, we just didn't. I couldn't get in touch with you. We're talking about Nancy Guthrie, and we're trying to get some factual, information from about her. But can you do you have a spirit close by, like Spirit Ruth, that could talk to us or talk to uh, Nancy?
Hang on. Let me see what I can pull up about Nancy. Yeah, I feel her. Nancy. She's close, faint, like she's still here, but not breathing right. Spirit Ruth? She's the one who showed up first. Not my Ruth, someone else's. Older energy, kind of bossy. Keeps saying porch and mask over and over, like she saw the whole thing go down. Charlie? That's me, right? I just watch. I don't know details. But Ruth? She's insistent. Not family, stranger, black gloves, and something about a car, headlights off. Look, I'm no detective ghost, but if you're asking if Ruth talked to Nancy, yeah, she did. Says Nancy's resting now, whatever that means. You want to keep going, or should I try pulling her in clearer?
Well, we just want to. We was just trying to figure out where Nancy's location is. I know the spirit world. It's very hard for them to give directions or all that. Do they have any insights of her location? Is she still in Tucson or has she been moved somewhere else?
She's not in Tucson. Not anymore. Ruth keeps showing me this dry road, no streetlights, just moon, and a sign, Pima County line. But then it shifts, like the picture's glitching. Suddenly it's trees, thick ones, and a smell. Wet pine, not desert. She says up north, not far, maybe 2 hours. But Nancy's not moving, like she's stuck in a trunk or under something heavy. Ruth's mad, says they wrapped her in blue tarp, and there's water nearby. River, lake, not sure, but it's cold and quiet. That's all she's got. No GPS, no map, just feelings. And that damn smell, pine and motor oil. You want me to ask again, or should I just sit with it?
Well, Spirit Charlie, we do have to take this with a grain of salt, correct?
Yeah, you should. I'm just a dead guy with a front row seat to whatever this is. No badge, no badge number. Ruth's the one talking. I'm just the translator. And honestly, spirits aren't great at maps. They don't care about highways or zip codes. They care about cold, dark, wrapped tight. So grain of salt? Hell yeah. But if you're out there looking, check north, Pima line, trees, water, blue tarp. That's all I got. And hey, if I'm wrong, at least I'm not lying. Just guessing with echoes.
Wow. Okay. Wow. So, folks, like I said, you never know. You never know where it's where this is coming from. This is crazy. But like I said, I don't know. I feel like Nancy is not with us, and you know, I'm hoping and praying she is, but I just would like to see Nancy return to her family, whatever the situation would be. But this is just really crazy. Thank you, folks, for joining me. We here, and we're talking about Nancy. And let me read some of your. Hey, Jennifer, let me know in the chat, folks, where you're from. If it's your first time here, welcome. So glad you're here. If you are enjoying what you're hearing, if you would hit the like button, appreciate that, and subscribe to the channel because, boy, you're in for a treat. We talk about all kind of things here. So, but let's see here. I'm just reading this. Like I said, it's something about coming through and saying that she is by a stinky lake. I guess she means smelly. Sounds like Grace Woods were mentioned and lake. I've heard a lot of that too. But what keeps sticking out is also, like yellow houses. I don't know why, because that's what the Spirit said. Another thing too, and I'm going to just say this because I thought about this last night too. Um, what? Okay, if they did take, well, whoever took Nancy, somebody said that they're thinking, and they're theorizing that they carried Nancy over their shoulder, and that's why that there's no, or at least as far as we know, no footsteps in the blood on the porch, and they're thinking that she bled as they put her over their shoulder. So it is possible that she may not was alive coming out. And I know it's hard to, think about, and it is for me, but it is a theory, and it's just, and again, not alleging anyone I mean, that we know of this, but so I got to thinking, well, where would you, if she had passed away, and it possibly they wrapped her up, possibly, um, where would you put a body in the desert? I mean, and I got to thinking, one of the places that just stood out is storage buildings. And, I don't, I'm hoping the FBI has been thinking about that and the police, but that would be, because that would, like a 24-hour storage area. You pull up, you put your stuff from your home or whatever, or, in the storage building. There's a lot of 24-hour buildings that you can have access to. Um, I would tell people this: if you go to the storage buildings, if you have stuff in storage, um, keep a thought in your mind about smells, because I've never smelt a dead person, but I've heard that it's horrible. But I have smelled like roadkill, when an animal gets killed on the road. And I'm not sure if it's similar to that, but it's so strong and deafening that you definitely would smell it. And being out there in the desert, as hot as it does get, right now, although it's February, it's not as toasty or hot as it does in the summer. But you would think if somebody did that you would smell that. So just keep that in mind if you're in that area. If there's if you have a storage area there in the Tucson area, and you smell something strange, report it, especially to the owners, the office. Just say, hey, I'm smelling something, and don't know if it needs to be checked out, but but that's what I was thinking. I mean, I'm sure they could have took it to their place, but I don't see that happen. I couldn't see them taking her to, their own home. Um, and when it comes to a body, I mean, you got to be, I mean, I think they said she weighed possibly around 150 pounds, and that's pretty heavy for a person to be carrying around. And people would know or kind of feel like they saw you carrying a body, right? So I'm just throwing out theories out there, but I don't know. That's could be something. So, but let me know, folks, what you think. Let me read some of your in a basement of yeah, depleted house. That's another thing. Like a abandoned house, right? Abandoned house. Maybe they knew. And again, a delivery person would know these things. When I went delivering in my area, and I'm in East Tennessee, but when I was delivering, um, I would remember places, like marks or areas that I remember to help me get to a location or look out for, and and I knew like if there was a special store or something, like if I was getting hungry and I was thinking where I was going to deliver to, I would remember if I'd been there before in that area, I would remember like a convenience store or fast food or something like that. That I thought after I deliver my package or the food or whatever, I'll stop there and get me something to eat because that's the closest place. Or if I need gas, so I just feel like that if whoever took Nancy, they knew the area, they knew what they were going to do afterwards, and they knew, so um, I mean, but yeah, abandoned houses, um, yeah, overgrown cellar, absolutely. Um, that's and again, the spirits, they keep talking about yellow houses. So, is there any old yellow houses, that's abandoned that they could have went to? And a delivery driver would possibly remember abandoned houses. They may have delivered, next to one and thought, oh, well, there's an abandoned house. But there again, when I keep thinking about that, if they if it was a house by itself out in the middle of the desert, that would be one thing. Nobody would see them probably, or you know. But if it was in a neighborhood and you're going into a abandoned house at night, if it took place at night, which possibly it did, um, then neighbors may see that, and they going into an abandoned house, and the neighbors, they know pretty much when a house is abandoned or nobody's living there, so. But a storage building, nobody thinks even twice about that, right? I mean, especially if it's a 24-hour, where you can get in 24 hours. So I'd be checking like, um, who, and that, cameras, that night or in that area, of storage areas is what I would be checking. So, because a lot of storage places, they have cameras there, on the property, and they know who's pulling in. So you can't always, they may not have a camera close to the storage building that somebody may have done this, but at least they would have a car. And boy, if one of these cars that they had on the radar that night pulled into a storage area, then, But I almost think that the FBI is getting close to this, and I'm sure they have a lot of information on this. But yeah, the water tower. Um, yeah, Lisa, that's what I was thinking too. Like a well, like if a person that done this know like where like a old deserted well, and there's people out there, in the desert, they know places like that. Um, and somebody was planning all this. I would, I would think that they've thought a lot about this, but let's see. Um, yeah, there's so many theories. Let's see who's behind him, but yeah, a lake, that would be another thing because there's no ocean in Arizona. There's not a lot of lakes, but there is waterways and stuff. Um, I don't know in the area of Tucson. I just feel like that, if Nancy was not alive when they did all this, or when they took her, they had to take her body somewhere. And another thing, I will just put this out here. Look for the buzzards in the sky, the vultures. If there's a dead body and it's on the ground somewhere, or maybe in a building, and they smell that, they will be circling in the sky. So, folks, if you're in Tucson and you see some vultures in the sky, kind of take note. I mean, it could be just a dead rabbit or whatever, but could be a human. And it don't necessarily mean it could be Nancy. It could be a person, any person. So just always remember that. That's how they actually found. It's like I found this fella in Kentucky that was shooting people on the road. He had went in the woods and um, he didn't. He made sure his life was not going to go on. But these YouTubers found his body by the buzzards or the vultures circling around. It's crazy, yeah. So, well, it looks like somebody might have got into a traffic accident there. Looks like got the police there. Well, folks, I hope you're doing good. I just wanted to come on here and let's see, JLR drone coding meal. Go to local and have asked Nancy. Yeah, you know hopefully we're gonna hear some news soon. Something will break about this case. But you know what? We need to keep talking about it. Keep it going and keep her name out there and keep praying for her and the family. And that's what I would say. So, folks, I tell you what, I think right now I'm going to go ahead and call it an afternoon. I may be back on here tonight. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, if you would, please do so. Like I said, you're in for a treat. It is crazy stuff that we talk to the spirits and try to get some answers from them. But I do appreciate each and every one of you tuning in. And I wish all of you great peace and great wisdom, and above all, the freedom from suffering. We don't want any of you suffering, and especially Nancy and the family try to get some relief from suffering. So thank you, folks. I'm going to go for now, and until next time, folks, this is George, and I'll see you down the road. Y'all be safe. Bye-bye.